Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this channel. So I'm going to be briefly discussing a few things about the Jay-Z and Beyonce thing that's going around social media right now. Listen, he took a picture with a Basquiat artwork that was pretty exclusive, and people, and he took it, with Tiffany jewelry, and people did not like that because they said that he would not have wanted his painting, his artwork associated with this company, and so people are in an uproar about that, right? So, but obviously, this is a dreadlock channel, so I always catch and notice. Well, not always, but sometimes I catch and I notice, the things that people are saying about hair because it tells me a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's really not just about the hair. It's just it shows me a lot about people and hypocrisy and selective outrage and all of these things. And those are the things I'm going to talk about in this video, right? So if you go and look at those comments, which I'm sure some of you have, if you come across this video, you'll see that, yes, people are outraged about the act of him taking the picture with the artwork. And not only are they outraged about that, people are also going in on Jay-Z's dreadlocks. Obviously, Jay-Z has some freeform locks, and people have, ever since he started growing them, people have always had a strong opinion on it. And I've seen a lot of comments, man, and I say a lot of comments like I've been, I kind of let it fester for a little bit. I kind of, because I wanted to get a better overall perception. I didn't want to just see 5 comments or 10 comments or 20 comments here and there. It was a bunch of comments that I was seeing on different platforms. All of them have a very strong disdain for not only, obviously, Jay-Z's dreadlocks, but for dreadlocks like this in general. Now, the ironic thing is that some of these people who were also defending Basquiat and his artwork were also simultaneously talking about Jay-Z's hair. And they said that Basquiat would not have wanted, this. And well, first of all, let me address that. Now, he passed away in 1988. So he would have been, what, 57 today? I don't know what that man viewpoints would have been here in 2021. Maybe he would be cool with it. Maybe he would be cool with the fact that Jay-Z, who is a person who, likes him, is doing this. I don't know. Maybe he would like it. I don't know that. We have no way of knowing that. It's 2021. Maybe his views would have changed drastically. Who knows? But if you think that he wouldn't have liked Jay-Z doing that, so then what do you think he would say or think about people who are going in on Jay-Z who has hair like he had? So but it goes to show you, man, people they will go in on stuff and just people just cherry pick. You know what I mean? People cherry pick what they want to be outraged about. Now, I feel like if you're outraged about him doing that, Jay-Z that is, well, it would make sense to me that you would be just as outraged about somebody going in on his hair. Why? Because our hair is also still in 2021 policed. I've seen a lady said that when she sees Jay-Z, she has a very strong urge to want to cut his dreadlocks off. People were saying that he looks dirty. People were saying that how the typical things that you hear when somebody's growing their dreadlocks like this. Now, again, people have gotten their hair cut, their dreadlocks cut off for punishment, as a punishment, as an embarrassment, as a persecution. And so you see people that look like you, they're saying these things. And I'm not saying that it was all black people. There was some non-black people mixed in there, but most of the comments were predominantly, so-called black people. And so you see these comments, man, and I said to myself, man, you have to really have a disdain. That's why I said these locks are the most polarizing, because people really love it or they really hate it. And when they really hate it, they really hate it. I don't see how somebody that you don't know, that you have never met, when you see them, can cause so much disdain in you that you want to cut their hair off just because they have a certain type of dreadlocks. So it also shows me that, because you guys know how people tell you when you start growing your hair like this, people, one of the first things that people tell you is that, well, you're not going to be able to find a job, you know, or you're not going to be able to find a good job. And I'm looking at these comments, man, and I'm forming these thoughts, and I'm observing them, and I'm like, I think about when J. Cole debuted his locks, when The Weeknd had his locks. I look at what they do to Jay-Z every time they see a picture of him. And I think there was somebody else that who really, Cam Newton. Now, these are the, some of the newest people who started to, freeform their hair. And the comments and the disdain that people have for their hair is very telling to me. And I said, well, it can't be about the money. These people that's telling you, well, you're not going to be able to get a job. If you think about this, the people who are telling you that, a lot of them, if you became a millionaire tomorrow, if you became a successful person and you still had your hair the way it is, if you're growing dreadlocks like this, they're still going to want you to cut your hair, because you know what they say about J. Cole and Cam Newton and Jay-Z and all of them? They have too much money to have their hair like that. So it's really not about the money, but that's a low-hanging fruit. What I mean by low hanging fruit is that it's easy for people to just say, oh, well, you won't be able to get a job. Well, they really don't care about how much money you're going to make. You know what I mean? It's just that all they know is that they see you, they see your hair, and they do not like it. It's plain as simple as that. They don't like it. It's not about them caring about you going to get a job. Now, I'm not saying that everybody who says this line really don't want you to get a job, but I, just from observing these things for a few years now, I can um, say that most people really don't care. It ain't about the money that you have. You know what I'm saying? It's just about, they just don't like the way it looks. That it looks. It causes something inside of people. As you see people saying that she has a disdain to cut it off, and you always see people saying that when they see dreadlocks like this, why didn't they just chop that off? That's a disdain. You know what I'm saying? So it's not about the money. Don't let people tell you that it's about the money, but you're not gonna get a job. They don't really care about that stuff. It's just something to say because it sounds good. It sounds like, oh well, telling them I want this person to have a good job. It's not really what it's about. You know what I mean? They just don't like it. And listen, I always said that I'm not an advocate for people or trying to make people like this type of hair. I always try to give people different information. You do with the information what you will. You know what I mean? So it also shows me that your hair precedes you no matter what. No matter if you Jay-Z wearing a suit, no matter if you're The Weeknd, no matter if you are a person who has no home. The rich man and the poor man with hair like this is judged the same. So they may get a little bit more of a pass for it because they got some money, but for the most part, it don't matter, because when they see the rich man and the poor man with hair like this, they think the same thing, the same things, the same stereotypes. Poor, you ain't got a lot of money, you're not very cleanly, uh, you don't care about your upkeep, you're lazy, things of that nature. Those what they think of that. That's what they think about you. No matter if you got $1 billion or $1 to your name, it don't matter because your hair precedes you. Like, so when they see you and they see you with dreadlocks like this, they automatically think. They automatically have these certain. They start thinking. It takes seconds for them to start thinking what they think about you, whatever it may be. So that really doesn't matter, you know what I'm saying? So it's important to know that, your hair precedes you, man. It's one of the first things that people see, and people are going to form an opinion about you based on your hair. So that's like, those are the things that I've taken from it. It's not about the money. Your hair precedes you. And if you even look at, let's say two recent examples, Shikari Richardson and the guy who had the wicks, who defended himself, who murdered his family. He was on a murder trial, and I was reading the comments, and one of the first things that stuck out was that people was talking about his hair. Now this person just killed their family, murdered their family. And one of the things that people were talking about was his hair. You know what I'm saying? Other than he was sounding like a fool trying to defend himself, was his hair. You know what I'm saying? And actually his hair to them made him more threatening, right? Shikari Richardson, you can take her first race when she had the red orange hair. One of the first things when she won that race and she broke that record was people saying that, look at her hair. You know what I'm saying? So, and she had a weave. You know, so it doesn't matter, man. Like, it's one of the first things that people are going to notice about you. Now, certain hair types, certain types of locks or whatever, yeah, people are going to notice it about you. And people may not like locks. Somebody may not like locks, but hey, if they see somebody with manicure locks, they'll probably at least accept that a little bit better, as opposed to seeing them with this types of dreadlocks. And that's just a little bit too far. And it's weird because we're in a society with people who, everybody's circle is small. Everybody is appears or says that they march to the beat of their own drum. People, everybody has their own individuality, and nobody's a follower. But and people tell you to be yourself, but people only want you to be yourself when it doesn't make them feel away. As long as they feel comfortable looking at you or being around you or whatever, then you can be yourself. When you don't fall in line with that status quo a lot of times, then it's not really okay to be yourself. Even though, we have all these people who telling you to do your own thing and all that stuff. It's not really what people want, man. It sounds good. They only want you to be yourself if, it appeases them. So that's what these are the things that I've learned from all of the JayZ stuff. And I learned that for whatever reason, people don't like JayZ, man. There's a sector of people who just don't like JayZ. Now, I think I don't want to just toss away that there are people who really feel a way about that artwork being associated with that company. I think that's valid. But I think that just from my opinion and just watching this stuff for a while, I think what it is that people are mad that it's JayZ. If it was somebody, it's what I've learned about people through social media. When it's somebody that they like, then that gets a pass. If it was somebody else that people had a narrative for, or people that they just simply like that person, it wouldn't have been a problem. But because it's JayZ doing it, I think also if it would have been a non-black couple or a non-black man, other than, if it would have been a non-black man, then this probably wouldn't even be getting talked about like this. But it's JayZ with the freeform dreadlocks. People don't like that. Like, I'm telling you, man, when you grow your hair like this, it causes a reaction in people, man. It just does. You know what I'm saying? They just see it and they say, how can this person let their hair go? What they call it, letting it go. But they don't call it letting it grow. They say let yourself go like that. And so it causes something inside of people man, they see you and they want to cut your hair off. If a lot of these people had the chance, they probably would cut your hair off. But, it just causes the reaction in people. And again, I just want to, those are the points that I made. Don't let people tell you it's about the money. You know what I'm saying? None of that stuff. People have selective outrage and all those things. So these are things that I observed from this. And it was interesting it's always interesting to see these things play out and observe it through social media, because you get to see a vast amount of it and you get to form your perceptions and your thoughts and opinions on these people and what they're saying. So, but that's all I have for this video. Please let me know your thoughts. And as usual, thanks for watching this video.